thank you. So, in this slot, we are going to present the Kilt Network. First, I'm going to give a short overview of our system, and then Timo will showcase our testnet and demo client. So, the Kilt ecosystem will be composed of the Kilt blockchain, multiple client applications, and decentralized services. We created the Kilt protocol so that these components can interact with each other. We provide the Kilt software development kit that implements our protocol. The protocol application developers and system integrators can use this SDK to utilize Kilt in their services. The Kilt blockchain is the heart of our system, providing a decentralized public ledger for managing trust relationships. This is our custom blockchain, which we implemented with the Parity substrate framework. Amongst the many advantages, this will enable Kilt to seamlessly connect to the Polkadot network in the future that could potentially create multiple opportunities for the Kilt network. Today, we launched the first Kilt testnet, which we call MeshNet. The blockchain in this version includes all basic functionalities to support management of simple revocable credentials and also the creation of complex trust structures. To bootstrap the Kilt ecosystem, we developed simple demo services to enable the seamless onboarding of the Kilt protocol for early adopters. Developers can also take these services apart and use them as a guide to create their own services running on Kilt. We also developed a demo client that showcases all parts of the protocol in a detailed step-by-step fashion. Application developers can also use this software as a tool to look under the hood and better understand how the protocol works. Additionally, this client is also a good tool for business-oriented users or product designers who would like to try out their business ideas using the Kilt protocol. All software codes of these components will be open source. In the rest of the presentation, we will show a short demo of how the Kilt protocol works. We use the blockchain to write the attestation of claims on the blockchain. And verifiers can check if these attestations are still valid or if they were revoked by the attester. It is important to note that the attestation is only a hash of the claim signed by the attester, which contains no private data of the claimer, so the Kilt protocol is fully GDPR compliant. You can also use Kilt to build up complex trust structures in the system that can basically translate everyday trust relationship into a digital representation. It is very important that participants of a network agree on the contents of claims. This means that an attested claim of a user will be understood by many verifiers. To ensure investment security for the participants, we created the concept of claim types, which we call C types. We are also in the process of designing an incentivization mechanism to foster the standardization of these C types. So now I would like to turn it over to Timo, who will present the demo client.
All right. So, the demo client. All right. Okay. This is the demo client. This is the start page. So, if you go to demo.kilt.io, this is the first thing you see. This is your dashboard. This is where you see your identities. I already created different identities. I also created already C types, some claims in the background, the delegation tree, things you will see later on. So I will present a simple use case. We have a claimer and he wants to get a driver license. And he doesn't want to get a driver license attested by anyone. He wants to know that this is an official driver license authority. He wants to know that this is in a delegation tree. He wants to make sure. All right, so we are already logged in as a claimer. First thing we do is we go to our C types. So we currently have two C types, our driver license and the official driver license authority C type, which we will be seeing later on. I go here, I check the driver license drop-down menu and create a claim from there. Let's just call it claimer's driver license. The name is claimer let's say 30-year-old. All right. So we created the claim. This is only locally. Nothing was put somewhere. It's all on the device. So before we request the attestation, we first want to know if the entity I want to interact with really has the legitimations I want to see for someone who can attest my driver license for me. So instead of going to request attestation, we first go to request legitimations. We select our receiver, which will be our employee of the driver license authority, DLA employee, and click request legitimation. This now did send a message according to our spec over a specified message endpoint, which was specified by the DLA employee. We have here on the top an identity switcher. Currently, I will do all the identities. Normally, these will run on different devices. All right, so we see the message here. Before we go into this, first let's see what the DLA employee actually has as legitimations. So he himself has a claim which says, I'm the employee, I'm also as official as the DLA, and it is already attested. So who is it attested by? It's attested by the driver license authority.
So who can say that this driver license authority is actually someone who is allowed to do that? So we go one level deeper and see, the state office gave the driver license authority the legitimation that he says, okay, this is official, and the driver license authority said, all right, my employee is also official then. So you can see this here. Then in the delegation tab, you see that the driver license authority, they decided to structure themselves in a delegation tree. This means they put themselves as a root and invited the employee as a part of the delegation tree and said, all right, you can attest in my name, so to speak, but you can't delegate further. So these are the two things. Okay, back to our message. We see the message. On the top, we see some developer information. This is the actual message which got sent. It's either encrypted or decrypted. This is already verified in the background, so all the signatures are checked. You see the details the claimer gave us. The C-type, the owner, and his contents, the name and the age. So I will send him some legitimations. First, that I'm official, and my delegation tree. All right, we send it back, delete the message, and now we again build the message, this message object, and send it back to the employee. All right. Sorry, not the employee, to the claimer. All right. So he got the message back. He now sees all the information which were provided by the DLA employee. I see this and I say, all right, okay, official driver license authority, okay, what is here? It's from the state office. All right, this is all I need to see. I see the delegation tree. And now I can say request attestation, which is actually based on this legitimation. So the attester can't fiddle around with that. He has to now attest based on this information. All right. So it's a little bit of a message ping pong here. He sees again the full details. You can see if still everything is correct. And will now go and select attest claim. This will right now trigger a blockchain transaction. Let's be quick here. All right. This is a Chain Explorer tool to see what's happening on the blockchain. And you see as an extrinsic, here we have now the attestation.add function, which was called, and where the DLA employee actually paid a small amount to make this transaction. All you see here is a claim hash. It has a C-type hash and the delegation ID. So there's no private information about the claimer at all in the blockchain. Let me also show you the telemetry right now. You see we have 6 nodes running, 3 validated nodes who actually make the blocks, and 3 full nodes which we are connecting to. All right. So back at the claimer side, he now got the attestation. He imports it and goes to his claims and already sees, all right, the attestation is now valid. And if it would be been revoked later, he would see an X here, but right now it's freshly attested. I can again go here, inside, I see the attestation, I see the legitimation from that, I can see the delegation tree, so I can make sure that this is all the information I wanted. All right, the claimer now has his driver license, and it's pretty official, everyone attested through that. Now we want someone to use it. So this use case here would be, there's a verifier which actually wants to seize the driver license of the claimer, maybe to let him drive or not. He wants to decide if he can drive or not. So let's switch here on the top to the verifier now. He wants to see the driver license, so he wants to request claims for this driver license. He selects the claimer, request claim. This again goes over the messaging system, so the claimer sees this message. He sees, okay, he wants to have a driver license, I have one here, I have an attestation, and I want to give him my name, but I don't really want to give him my age, because I think this is not important for right now. I send the attested claims back, switch back to the verifier, and here, see now all the information. You see the age is not available here, but this is with the algorithm, it was made sure that the whole thing is still valid. I mean, he doesn't see this specific information, but he can make sure that the whole thing is valid, and this is actually the object which was attested to. All right, so he can now decide if he wants to let the person drive or not. I mean, he sees all the information, so I guess he will do it. All right, this concludes the demonstration. Thank you very much.